Thank you for being here. Thanks for the download. Thanks for the listen. Ed Schultz News and Commentary. We're here Monday through Friday as we do it on this Wednesday. I'm watching Paul Ryan's press conference yesterday. I'm listening intently. I'm waiting for the magic words, and they just didn't come out. So I'm here to call bullshit on all of this morning to start things off. Folks, let me tell you something. We got a lot of conversation yesterday from the Speaker's press conference when it came to process and getting along and bipartisanship. We got a new way. We got to get along. Obama's wrong. The country's in the wrong direction. We're going to do things differently. We're going to do the funding processes and all this garbage. Show me the money. I didn't hear the magic words from Paul Ryan yesterday, which should have sounded something like this. For decades, we have grossly underfunded our infrastructure in this country, and we're going to fix it because that's what the people want. I get all this talk about the people's house and process. People don't care about process. They want to know if the bridges that they're driving over in this country are going to remain structurally deficient. That's the issue. And it's jobs. And I've said all along on this production that this election is about jobs and wages. So I'm here to tell you today that eventually we're going to get to the conversation of privatization. And we're going to end up in the arena of philosophy of how they think the country should be run. That's where this whole thing is going. They're not going to raise corporate taxes. They're not going to raise taxes on the wealthiest Americans. What they're going to do is look for cuts and offsets, and they are disguising this conversation in a very masterful way. And Ryan knows how to do this. Hell, he was out on the campaign trail with Romney. He knows how to lie just as good as all of them. But wait a minute. The mainstream media now thinks that we've got a new sheriff in town and we're really going to do things differently, and the Democrats are really going to have a lot to say about this. Well, let's start with good old cut 3 on the big list today. Here's Paul Ryan making the sales pitch to the American people and the mainstream media that we're really going to get this done.
We're going to go on offense. We're going to go on offense on ideas and give the country a bold alternative agenda because we don't think the country's heading in the right direction right now. We think the last 7 years have been bad years for advancing the American idea, for helping hardworking taxpayers, for helping working people who are struggling to get ahead. We need to go a different direction, and we owe it to the country to show that different direction. So that's what we're going to focus on, and we're not going to worry about who is doing what in a presidential election.
This is all a precursor to the conversation of cuts that are going to hurt middle-class families and the elderly in this country. We're going to get the sales pitch that Obamacare is costing too much money and it's not working and they got to do something about it. We're going to get the sales pitch that, hey, corporations hire people. We can't tax them anymore and it's okay if they put their money offshore. We're going to get to, we just can't support this entitlement program that has evolved into something in this albatross that nobody wants. Excuse me? Social Security is one of the most popular programs this country has. And what Ryan is going to do, he's going to propose that a portion of Social Security ends up in the stock market and let the hedge fund managers gamble with it. That's where this is going. And so there's no conversation. We have grossly underfunded infrastructure and we're going to do something about it. We're going to create jobs. We don't hear that. So, but what we do hear is about a process that's going to take place, and we're going to have all these amendments that we're going to talk about. Listen to this.
This week, you will see the highway bill is a good place to start. We're opening up the process. We're allowing members to participate in a way that the founders intended. And we're advancing an issue that is a big priority to the hardworking taxpayers of this country. Fixing our roads and our bridges, improving our transportation infrastructure. Chairman Schuster has done a phenomenal job putting this together, and that's why we're going to have an open process on the floor with lots of amendments considered by all members from both parties.
Lots of conservative amendments that we are going to support. That's what he's saying. Lots of conservative amendments and hold a gun to your head hostage time or you're not going to get the highway bill. That's where this is going. And I can't believe the media's fallen for this garbage. He's setting the table for what he was not able to accomplish in 2012. This is still his way of thinking and where he wants to take the country. And so now he's going to hoodwink it, making you think that because we've got all these amendments and there's a process of debate, that something is going to change. It isn't. Listen to this.
How are you going to approach the issue of riders? Are you prepared to have a confrontation over those riders? And what's your attitude about the importance of riders or social policy in the approach bill?
We have a tough deadline, December 11th. We've got not a lot of time between now and then, so we're going to have to put together appropriations, but this is the legislative branch, and the power of the purse rests within the legislative branch, and we fully expect that we're going to exercise that power. Thank you, everybody.
The challenge is now on the Democrats to make sure that there's going to be some language in some of this funding bill when it comes to where's the money coming from. Show me the money, follow the money, and make sure that it's properly funded. I'm all for it, but I know that there is a philosophical agenda behind all of this that eventually is going to attack the middle class in this country.